We want to thank, all right, there we go. There's a recording. Let me get that. Got it. We want to give thanks to brother Cody Mazzerella for letting use of his premium Zoom account. Next, we want to talk about the definition of revolutionary unionism, which is inspired by the industrial workers of the world. And that definition is to take power from our employer and the politicians through direct action at work and democratically control our unions. By doing so, we can dismantle the service and transactional model of business unionism, which has neutralized our power for over 50 years. Next, let's go with introductions. I'll start with myself. My name is Cole Gidley. I'm a bus operator out of Forest Glen. I've been a co-organizer with the Chicago Transit Justice Coalition. Gosh, probably, I would say maybe within the last 6 months, maybe a little bit more than that. This is my first time moderating a meeting. So, there's that. And I think it's gonna be a good time. Who wants to go next? Or am I gonna have to pick somebody?
Maybe just go down the line of participants.
Well, let's go with tech support then, since you're right down the line.
Oh yes, this is tech support. I've taken over Eric Basir's computer, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of this conference. Oh, this is Eric Basir right here. Sorry about that, y'all. No, I'm brother Eric, helping out here. I'm a rail car repairman, carman out of Howard Shop, a Justice Coalition co-organizer since the beginning about 2 years ago, and so glad to be with everybody. And Cole, thank you so much for leading us in this effort.
Thank you, Eric, for starting us off. I really do appreciate it. Next, we have Nicole Williams.
Hey guys, it's Nicole. My name is Nicole Williams. I'm a bus operator out of 103rd Street Garage. I have been working with the CTA for about 25 years, 23 years full-time, 2 years part-time. I'm a co-organizer for the Justice Coalition. Proud to be. And I want to thank Brother Cole for hosting this meeting today. We really appreciate you.
Thanks, Nicole. Next, we have Charles Padadoc. Correct me with that pronunciation.
Padadoc.
Padadoc.
Yeah, I'm a national field rep for the Machinist Aerospace Workers, member of the IWW and secretary of the Citizens Group, Citizens Taking Action for Transit.
Got it. Thanks for joining us, Charles. Next, we have Tom Colangelo. You want to mute yourself?
Whoa, Tom made the call. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
Tom. All right, next we have Kathy. You want to introduce yourself, Kathy?
Sure. My name is Kathy Strolecki. I'm a member of ATU Local 308, retired after 34 long years. And I'm a member of the Chicago Transit Justice Coalition and Progressive Labor Party. And I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Next, we have Matt Mortensen.
What's going on? My name is Matt Mortensen. Everyone calls me Morty. I'm a BMWD member here in Kansas City, Missouri, maintain and repair the tracks. I've done some all-craft coalition stuff with Eric and Tom Modica. Cole, I appreciate you doing this. I've never met you before, but hopefully we'll get to meet in the future. Thank you.
Yes, it's nice meeting you too. Next, we got Michael Babb.
Yeah, my name is Michael Babb. I'm from Mississippi. I'm a electric welder for Norfolk Southern Railway. I belong to the BMWE, IBT. I'm the local lodge president of local lodge 2838 And recently, I've been appointed to the National Division E Board for our union.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Next, we have Tom Modica.
How you doing? My name is Tom Hodica, Secretary Treasurer of Local 1532 out of Chicago. We maintain tracks and equipment on Norfolk Southern. I noticed somebody said they're 103rd Street Garage. I actually work right across from there quite a bit on Norfolk Southern Yard. But yeah, I've been in the union 10 years and trying to make it better.
All right, thank you, Mr. Modica. Next, we have Brother Robert.
Yeah, my name is Robert Thomas. I'm bus operator out of 103rd Street, starting with CTA 2016, and I'm a member of the Justice Coalition as well.
All right, thank you, Robert. And let's try Tom Colangelo one more time. We'll see if he wants to chime in and introduce himself. Tom Colangelo? Okay, I guess he'll just remain silent.
Maybe he's a little shy of that call.
Yeah,
Hey,
he's a
Tom.
little shy. That's all it is. All right, so next, we have topics of discussion. Today, we're going to go over some Robert's Rules of Order, be a little, brief tutorial. Then after that, we're going to do a power and strategy discussion with Jane McAlevey. Jane has a lot of experience with organizing and mobilizing, and she'll discuss exactly the difference between those two, and what, power and strategy is concerning unions. And then after that, we'll also, we're going to make time to do an autopsy of our TA Vote No campaign. What did we do right? What can we improve on? What did 241 and 308 do right? And what can they improve on? And how can we make some solutions, enforce some solutions upon them if they don't choose to fix what they've done wrong? So also, don't forget, please sign up for the upcoming 2022 Labor Notes Conference being held at the Hyatt Regency at O'Hare. It's going to be from June 17th, 2022 to June 19th for only $130. If you can't make that contribution and you're also a part-time employee, we have a couple free registrations for the Labor Notes Conference being offered by some of our CTJC members. It'll be, by Brother Tom Colangelo and Brother Eric. You could see the hyperlink there if you're interested. And remember, this is if you're a part-time employee. Okay. You could also
Excuse me, Cole. Just to let everyone know, this agenda, all the links are hyperlinked in this. In order to access the agenda, just go to chicagotransitworker.com, click on the virtual meetings button, and click on the date, and that'll bring up today's agenda. All right, sorry.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Let's see. Next, we have interact and share. With our website. Eric just went over that. Our YouTube channel. Click on that link. Twitter page. Our Facebook public page. And yeah, so those are accessible for you if you choose to use them. Next, we have our tutorial and our discussion. We have Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised, the 12th edition. This is what our local uses in order to run our meetings, our mass membership meetings. So I think it's great that we have that in our minds, familiarize ourselves with it, so we know what to do once we're there. Eric, if you could bring up the cheat sheet.
You want the book?
Okay.
You mean the book, or because we have the book linked here first? and then the
Well,
cheat
yeah,
sheet.
let's bring up the book and then we'll show the cover page.
Okay,
And let's show the cover page, Eric.
all right.
They know exactly what they're looking for. Thank you, Eric.
Got so many windows here. I just have to scroll.
It's okay.
All right. Hope you all read that.
Yeah, I wish we could just download it into our brains. That'd be so much easier. Okay, so that's yeah, the cover page for Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised, 12th edition. It's the latest version. Yeah, so now could we go to the cheat sheet? Thank you, Eric. Okay, so Robert's Rules of Order is very expansive. I mean, there's some 1,000 pages at least of Robert's Rules of Order, and you know, it gets very detailed. So here are some phrases that you know, that would be easy for us to learn. And you know, it kind of explains, you know, if you want to do this, you can say this is what you're supposed to say. Can you interrupt the speaker? Is a second needed? You know, is the topic, you know, is the thing that you're doing, is it debatable? Is it amendable? And what's the type of vote needed? Is it just a simple majority vote? Is it a 2/3 vote? You know, maybe there's not a vote at all, or maybe the chair decides. So that's what we're showing here. So if you want to adjourn the meeting, you would say, I move that we adjourn. You know, no, you know, entry, you could, let's see, it says, you can't interrupt the speaker. There is a second needed. It's not debatable, it's not amendable. And also it requires a majority vote. Now, something that happened to us in this prior mass membership meeting is somebody did call for the meeting to be adjourned, but it wasn't properly stated by the chair. And not only that, the chair didn't maintain order through, you know, at our meeting. And so we didn't get to hear that adjournment had been asked for. And, you know, it was a slick, cowardly way to end the meeting, because we still had business to take care of. And in fact, we're going to discuss some of this later. Even after it's over, if somebody wants to come up and discuss some business, the chair can open the meeting back up. Now, we also have recess. You can move that we recess until, you know, a given time, you know, maybe 5-10 minutes. Could you move up a little, Eric, on the cheat sheet? I'm sorry, down, so I could see the top of it. For recess, you can't interrupt a speaker. You know, a speaker has, if he's recognized by the chair, that's who the speaker is. There's a second needed. It's not debatable. It is amendable. So probably the time would be amendable if somebody wants a longer recess, and a majority is needed. If you want to complain about the noise, the room temperature, you would ask for a point of privilege. Yes, you could interrupt the speaker. No, a second isn't needed. It's not debatable and it's not amendable, and the chair decides. Also, if you want to suspend further consideration of something, you would say, I move that we table it. No, you can't interrupt the speaker. Yes, a second is needed. And no, it's not debatable. No, it's not amendable. And it's a majority vote. Let's see. Can you go up a little? Thank you, Eric. Let's see. As for ending a debate, Now, this is something that we've ran into. People would be talking in our membership meetings, and what is it, Nicole, that he says in order to get somebody to stop talking? Motion to end debate.
Motion to end the debate.
Yes, that's what he says, and that's wrong. It's supposed to be, I move the previous question. So that's the proper way. So maybe we could, point that out to him at the next membership meeting. It's, I move the previous question. No, you can't interrupt a speaker, which which the chair does do. A second is needed. No, it's not debatable, it's not amendable, and it takes a 2/3 vote. So 2/3 of the people in the room have to go along with it. Postpone consideration of something. I move we postpone this matter until. I see this as a tool for the officers to try and stop us from any motions that we may want to carry. I don't know if they're aware of this. I don't know. I would like to think not. But this is what they could do. I can move, we postpone the matter until. No, they can't interrupt the speaker. Yes, it takes a second. It is debatable. It is amendable, and it would take a majority vote. You can amend a motion. I move that this motion be amended by, no, you can't interrupt the speaker. Yes, a second is needed. Yes, it's debatable, it's amendable, and a majority vote. Now, this last one on this upper table is introduction of business. And this is what's
Hey,
referred
Cole.
to. Yes.
I'm sorry, I had raised my hand. I don't know if you
Oh,
saw
I'm
it, but
sorry.
oh, no, it's fine. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but just to clarify, are you saying when the speaker has the floor, it's their floor? And so if they're trying to adjourn a meeting, I'm just going for clarification purposes. When they have the floor, it's the floor until they yield back. Is that correct? That's what you're saying?
If with regards to adjourn, according to this cheat sheet, which is from Robert's rules, you can't interrupt the speaker. It says no.
Right. So they're saying that when the speaker has the floor, it's their floor until they yield back. So if someone put a motion to the floor to adjourn a meeting, that would be doing it illegally, correct? Is that what Robert rules want to say?
I
Well,
would
that's what I
think
want
so,
to say.
yes. And not only
would think
that,
so.
Nicole, but I know in our bylaws, it says we only have 5 minutes. So I guess once that 5 minutes is up, then it's automatically yielded
But
back.
if you never reach the 5-minute mark,
Yes.
the floor is still the
you're right.
speaker's until the speaker yield back.
Yes.
And that kind of happened. That's why I'm just asking for clarification from what we understand, because I know they do stuff illegally. And I
Yes.
wrote a letter to our president asking him to cease and desist this behavior at our union meeting. So I want to be politically correct when I call him out on it, because if someone has the floor, he can't get one of his buddies to adjourn the meeting because that's illegally. And then if he want to adjourn the meeting, he got to bring it to the floor, right, and take a vote. You just can't.
That's right.
And everybody, and it has to be order in the room. It can't be chaos, right?
Yes, and that's his responsibility. He's supposed to be maintaining order.
And if everything's out of order, but it's a question still on the floor, he has to, even if the meeting was adjourned, he has to come back and take the question because he can't leave a question on the floor. Is that correct?
That's right.
Thank you. I just want to clarify that. Thank you,
Right.
Cole.
Thank
Thank you.
Request point of information.
Yes, recognized.
Are you able to see the participants' hands go up?
I'm gonna just have. Yes, I am. So right now I see Nicole's, but I don't know
Okay.
how to get rid of that.
I will control their hands.
Okay. Okay. You control their hands, Eric.
I lowered my hand, Eric. You don't have to control my hand.
Am I out of order?
You
Yes,
are out of
you're
order.
extremely out of order.
Call,
All right.
Andre Thompson just walked in the room. Call the police.
Oh, I know, right?
911. We have an intruder.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson.
I come in peace.
We accept you. Accept
All
you.
right, thank you. Thank you.
So where we're at is the introduction of business, which is considered a primary motion. What I like to say is this is where solutions happen. You know, if there's something that you want to change, that wouldn't be a bylaw, maybe, you know, you want to influence the union somehow, this is where you would do it, is you say, I move that, and whatever you want to make happen. You can't get, you know, you can't interrupt another speaker. Yes, a second is needed. Yes, it's debatable. It's also amendable, and it takes a simple majority vote. And then let's go down to the next table. Now we have, you could object to the procedure or a personal affront. Point of order. This should probably be something that's coming out of our mouths at the mess membership meetings quite often, because they don't seem to follow the rules. They just make up their own rules as they go along. So we should be familiar with this. Point of order. Yes, you can interrupt a speaker. No, a second isn't needed. Let's see, I don't think it's debatable. Could you clear that, Eric? Thank.
Oops, sorry.
Okay,
We're
Eric.
having technical difficulties here.
It's all right. It's okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's
Sorry
not
about that.
debatable, it's not amendable. Chair gets to decide. Now there's also, now let's talk about, the chair gets to decide. We're gonna skip over the rest of these, and then we can get to the bottom. Vote on a ruling by the chair. This is something else that we should probably be aware of. I appeal the chair's decision. Okay, so if the chair decides something and we disagree with it, well, guess what? The assembly gets to decide whether or not, if we want to overrule that decision. And by using this, I appeal the chair's decision, we can make that happen. So yes, you can interrupt the speaker. Yes, a second is needed, but it's also debatable and it's not amendable. And it needs a simple majority vote. I think this is another tool that we're gonna have to keep on us when we're in our meetings. Now also we have, we could request information, which would be called point of information. Yes, you can interrupt a speaker. No, a second isn't needed. It's not debatable. It's not amendable, and there is no vote needed. You can ask for the vote by an actual count to verify voice vote. I call for a division of the House is what you say. It must be done before a new motion. A second isn't needed. It's not debatable. It's not amendable. It says none unless someone objects. So I guess if someone objects to a division, then a vote is needed. Now, if you object to considering something that's undiplomatic or improper, you can say, I object to the consideration of this question. That would interrupt a speaker. Yes, you could. Second isn't needed. It's not debatable. It's not amendable. And that would take a 2/3 vote. Now, if you want to take a matter up that was previously tabled, which could happen to us if we want to put forth some business that's disagreed, you know, by the other side is opposed to it. We could say, I move, we take from the table. Yes, you can interrupt a speaker. Yes, a second is needed. It's not debatable, it's not amendable, and a simple majority vote is needed. If you want to reconsider something already disposed of, you would say, I move we now or later reconsider our action relative to. So yeah, so if you want to bring up another piece of business that was disposed of, this is how you would bring it back up. You can interrupt a speaker. A second is needed.
The time.
Yeah, I
just
see.
to let you know.
I think I heard that, yes. But yeah, just let me finish because I'm almost done here.
And
so
you got
it's
some hands up too, just so you know.
okay. Let's see. Just so I see here. Okay. Yeah, just let me finish this. It's not debatable if only if the original motion was debatable. No, it's not amendable, and the vote needed is a majority. And the last thing is, consider something out of its scheduled order. You would say, I move we suspend the rules and consider. So I think this is something that we've been doing at our last membership meeting is, we moved that we suspend the rules and consider. So maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But it says, you can't interrupt the speaker. Yes, a second is needed. It's not debatable. No, it's not amendable, and it requires a 2/3 vote. So that's, the end of these tables. Andre Thompson, you have your hand up. And see who had their hand up first. So.
Yeah.
What's up, Andre?
At the union meeting, last time we was there, Keith was telling the person that they couldn't have another personal point of privilege because you only allowed 2. Was any type of rule set on that, or is that a rule? And do you know of anybody?
I would have to look that up. Let me write that down
Yeah, okay.
so I can look that up later.
Okay.
What is that question again?
He stated you only can have 2 personal privileges.
I doubt
Because-
that.
I doubt it too.
Yeah, he
But,
made that up. That sounds full of money.
Personal privilege. Yeah.
Yep.
He's
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
So we just
I'll
need to
look it
get
up.
on
I'll
that
look it up
because
just to
he
be
was-
sure.
a person
Maybe
was
there's
trying to
5.
make another personal privilege. He denied them. I think it was me and Nicole, one of us. I can't remember.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Andre.
All right.
Nicole. Miss Williams.
And then Coangelo also had his hand up a couple times, but
Okay.
it went down.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm here. I forgot what I want to say, but it was me that Mr. Hill said could only have 2 points of personal privileges. So I'm going to look that up as well because I'm going to need more this month. So I forgot what I had to say, but thanks for
Okay, Nicole. I'm just raise your hand again. I'll try and be more aware of that.
it's okay. It's Nico.
Okay. And Mr. Colangelo, did you have anything to say?
Yeah, good afternoon. I stepped away when you.
Hey,
were
Tom,
asking.
welcome.
So
Well, if you want to introduce yourself now, that'd be fine. So
okay,
everybody knows who you are.
Angelo, Forest Glen Garage, 21 years with the ATU, PACE and CTA.
Okay.
And you also had a couple others that just got in here, Janice and
Okay. So, well, yeah, let's do the introductions. Janice Brown, would you like to introduce yourself? Janice. Okay. All right. Colangelo, what was your question, or did you have a statement?
No, I just wanted to introduce myself because I stepped
Okay.
away.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate that. So yeah, so let's go back to the agenda. Now, yeah, we're short on time here, but there was a couple things I wanted to mention with regard to Robert's Rules of Order. There's a possible main motion that we can make at the membership meetings to prevent those meetings getting adjourned out from under us. It would be to fix the time at which to adjourn. So if we make that main motion, we would just say what's the time we want to adjourn at, and then they would have to abide by that. That would be in Robert's Rules 22, Section 11. You don't have to show it, Eric, if you don't want to. That'd be a lot.
fix the time. This
So
is
there you go.
2211.
Yes.
Here it is.
Yeah, right there at the bottom there. Now this is regarding, to fix the time to which to adjourn. There's two things. You could choose the time to end the next meeting, or you can choose the time to end the meeting that you're currently at. Most of Robert's rules has to do with this subject, talks about the next meeting. But when you use the phrase, where is it here? To fix the time at which to adjourn, that would be at the current meeting that you're in. Okay, and as it says in parentheses there, it's always a main motion. Let's go back to the agenda, Eric. Number 3 there is the chair should state the motion. Yeah, they should be stating it clearly so everybody can hear. They should be maintaining order as well, so people can hear the motion that's on the floor. And then also, this was something I talked about earlier. I appeal from the decision of the chair. It has to get a second. And yeah, what it does is it takes the power from the chair if you disagree with his decision, and it puts it back in the assembly.
You want me to bring these up?
No, we're hurting for time on this area, so let's just go into the video.
Okay, coming up.
Sure.
I think let me just double check, make sure I got the share sound. Yep, I got it.
Okay, awesome.
Hang on here. And you said 6. I'm gonna go up to 6:30.
Make it 5:45. Let's start there actually. 5:45.
Okay. Oop. Oop.
Hey Cole, before you ever start the video,
Yes.
do you want to stop the recording on this? I thought.
Yeah, let's stop the recording on this actually, Eric.
You want to stop the record? We're playing a
Yes.
video though.
Yeah, he don't want it to be on everybody to
Yeah,
hear it.
because it's just, there's certain topics that she's discussing that I don't know.
Okay, please remind me to restart the recording in case I forget when you want. Okay.
Okay.
All right, pausing.
So let's continue with the video.
Participation, how do you get it? I think is a prerequisite to power, but it's not enough. As an organizer in any strike I've been involved in, which is many, in fact, frighteningly, probably more than most people alive right now, which is a problem, except for serious elders who are like retired. There's 2 other things that we need besides high participation. We need really good unity, and we need a serious, effective, tight structure in the workplace and across the workplaces in order to actually do what they did in West Virginia. So when I'm working with workers, and in 2016, I was involved in the largest organizing campaign in the United States, which I'm writing about now. So if there's not as much out there, because it was overshadowed by the Trump drama and the 2016 election. But every time I got in front of huge rooms of workers in 2016, I would say the same thing I've always said, which is you need high participation, you need unity, and you need structure. Those are the 3 things you need to win. And they're still the 3 things that you need to win. It's always been the 3 things that we need to win. So,
okay, can you stop that, Eric?
I feel like nowadays, because the word strike is getting, I think, kind
of. So like she said, participation, unity, structure. Those 3 things, I believe, should probably be the mantra of this coalition. And I believe they have been, but I just want to say it again. Participation, unity, and structure. Does anybody have any thoughts about that? Okay, then we'll continue. Yes.
So I think the mantra is, it might be a little specific. So the mission the mantra should be whatever the person organizing is putting out there, like yourself.
Mhm.
But when you go to the website, though, when you go to the Justice Coalition, it's really just about empowering the members to take control of their unions and
Yes.
make the leadership accountable. So if structure and the things that you stated are part of that, then that's what it is. But we want to, I think we don't want to kind of limit people to say what it, to kind of change it. Try to keep it as encompassing as possible. That's my recommendation.
Okay. I mean, I was just speaking generally. I wasn't asking to change anything. I was just giving a generality.
Understood.
Do you want to go back to the video, Eric?
Did you want the hands?
Oh yeah, let's well, let's go with Kathy this time.
Okay, thanks. I'll be brief. I've said this before as far as unity goes, and maybe the speaker will say that in the video, but we do have unity in 241 and 308. Unity to accept the contract, unity to stay away from the meetings, unity to be cynical. So what unity around what ideas? I think that's important. And it's so important that if people don't say it, because that's what the union leaders and their jerky supporters say, we need unity and we need more participation. We're never going to get enough participation. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. We need to
Those
know.
are great points, Kathy.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Miss Williams, you had your hand up first.
Oh, I was just gonna say what Kathy said, so she did it for me. I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, I'm just curious, what do you guys think she means by structure?
Well, she's gonna go on and talk about that. But from what I understand is she basically wants to keep track of everything. She wants to see, all right, so if we're going to do this petition, then she's going to write somebody's name down and she's going to put a star or a mark next to their name if they participated in this petition. And then when they do another petition, did this person sign up again? And then she'll put a star or a mark next to their name. And you just, that's what she means by structure. And she also means pointing out the organic leaders, who are the organic leaders in the workplace. She thinks that those people are the ones that tend to do well in their job, the people that get asked questions, those people in the workplace where if you have a question about something, who do you go to get that question answered? That's not a union rep or anything, just another worker. So she would say that that person that you go to is an organic leader. So that's what she means by structure. Matt, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I was just gonna kind of cop kind of what you said. What the way when we were organizing around here in Kansas City and Chicago is we used a rating 1 through 5, or some people used 1 through 4. So 1's like the leaders, 2 are people that are going to show up and participate, but they're not going to go out and talk to people. Depending if you do the 1 through 5, 3 is somebody that's on the fence, and so on and so on. So I mean, anybody that wants to use that kind of structure, go for it. I mean, it's been used for hell. I think Mother Jones come up with that whole strategy. So
okay. Yeah, and that's fantastic. Yeah, we just need some structure. So if you could continue the video, Eric, if no one has anything else to say.
Well, I just wanted to say when the sellouts say unity, they mean conformity.
That's right. That's exactly what they mean.
That's what
You're 100% right, Eric.
Oh, they want total obedience.
Yes.
They're the boss. Okay.
That's right.
Not sure what the word is. Abused in its use. I want to go back to being clear about what I mean by a strike. And I'm quoting someone named John Steuben, who wrote a book called Strike Strategy. The first version of it was 1923, and it's as relevant today as it was nearly 100 years ago. And he said a strike is an organized cessation from work. It's the collective halting of production or services in a plant, industry, or area for the purpose of obtaining concessions from employers. A strike is labor's weapon to enforce labor's demands. So a strike is not a protest with a few workers out front and signs that you tweet. That's actually a protest. A strike is actually creating a crisis, and it's a mass withdrawal of labor. So that's the definition I'm using of what a strike is. And these women wearing bunny ears took down the power structure of a conservative state. That's teachers in West Virginia. If you don't know a lot about it, they actually forgot my bunny ears today. I'm usually presenting in bunny ears for the last 2 weeks. They were wearing bunny ears most of the time because, oops, before I do that, because the governor had unfortunately made the mistake of insulting all of them on February 6th in Logan County, West Virginia, at a hearing where they went to protest, saying that they needed more money for education, and the governor of the state, the guy who was a wimpy Democrat who became a wimpy Republican, I guess, made the mistake of calling them all dumb bunnies. And from his dumb bunnies insult came thousands and thousands and thousands of bunny ears that lasted throughout the strike. So I love the image of women wearing bunny ears decimating a trifecta Republican power structure in West Virginia, meaning a Republican governor, a Republican Senate, and a Republican Assembly. Why they won in West Virginia is very important. One, they had an industrial approach, which is all workers together. In fact, I argued in a couple of articles I've written so far about their strike that in some ways I kept wondering, this is a law school, I kept wondering, I was sitting in California during the strike and interviewing people all throughout the strike, I kept wondering, when is the injunction coming? Like, why isn't there an injunction? This is all illegal. Why isn't there an injunction? And what I was told in interviews I did with a bunch of school superintendents, many of which were off the record, was that one, the Attorney General of the state had to have a sort of co-sponsor to do the injunction. So this is really important, like understanding the power structure of the fight. And that he couldn't actually get the people he needed to sign off on the injunction, which was the school superintendents. And the school superintendents, I'm going to argue certainly, and I have said in public, I think many were deeply sympathetic with the 34,000 workers who walked off the job, but they still had a lot of pressure on them at some point in a highly Republican state to sort of like stop being so embarrassed by, chicks and bunny ears, right? So, and the injunction didn't come. And what I understand from the school superintendents is the injunction didn't come because it was an all-out industrial workers approach, and because what the school superintendents kept saying to the Attorney General was, we have the right to enforce, we're responsible as superintendents of schools for basic safety. And if there are no bus drivers picking up the children in a rural state on deserted roads and one kid gets run over, it's all over for us. And so they actually could say every day the question was before them, and every day they said, we called up the bus drivers, which is the school service personnel, and asked, are the bus drivers driving buses today? And the bus drivers held in lockdown solidarity with the teachers and said, no bus drivers coming to work today. And the school superintendents every day basically just canceled school. So that's fascinating. So that's.
Did you pause the video, Eric? So I hope everyone heard that, especially my bus operators out here. The bus drivers had solidarity with the teachers, and because they chose not to go to work, the superintendent was, that's why they didn't go for an injunction. They didn't want to risk some child getting hurt, and that would just lose their side of it. So that's why I think the industrial approach is so important. We have to work all of us have to work together. That eventually I'd like to see us work with CTU. So that's something that I'm interested in happy, something happening. Nicole, you have your hand up.
Oh yeah, Cole, I just have a hand up. Well, as bus drivers, we know the power. Well, some of us know the power that we have, and we know that, like, not to take away from the train, but the train can go straight. But if they don't have buses to go, north, south, east, and west, people couldn't get where they want to get. So we know we have the power, but it's only some of us to know we have the power. And so, I think this is a good lesson, and it points out good things that stand in solidarity with people. But, I don't think we'll ever get anybody to stand in solidarity with us, but we have enough power to do whatever we need to do, along with just rail and bus operators, I believe. That's just my take on it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Now-
I think, I'm sorry.
Could I, when you get done, can I add something to that?
Oh, sure. Go ahead, Eric.
So Nicole, actually, we do have solidarity like this because we got three brothers from the Teamsters maintenance away, railroad maintenance away on our call. And although they're not all in Chicago, it shows you their solidarity, because think about it. If the freight isn't moving, if the tracks aren't being maintained, and the public transportation in the cities is not moving, you see, this is that industrial wall-to-wall action,
Oh yeah, Eric, I agree with that, because they're still trying. Though I'm talking about, like, if you incorporate the CTU, like, as an example that was given. I mean, they still like train workers, and we do have solidarity. But I'm saying if we had to go with the teachers union, hopefully, but we wouldn't need them, because we have the power within ourselves, just as any train or bus line, not just the CTA.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see. I think and then also the industrial approach, Cole, I think could also be put in with just where we work, because we have so many different departments and different unions.
That's true,
Right.
Eric. Right.
So
That's right.
You got maintenance, then you got
Yeah.
you got all this stuff. And when the rail stops, that's kind of messy. And then what happens is the bus has to substitute the rail routes.
Yes, that's right.
There's a crisis right now where we don't have enough workers anyways, for various reasons. So instead of organizing for this type of action, of course, our union leadership, worked in secret, to make a concessionary
Well,
contract.
they just worry
to calm us
about their
down.
connections. They just try and keep their connections. That's what they live off of.
Yeah. Just. Yep.
So, but you're 100% right, Eric. CTA is so large that there's unions upon unions within CTA, and if one side has an issue, we all should be coming together to help that side, and not only within CTA, but I believe also out here in the world. Like with CTU. Yes, we may not need them, but we would be more effective if we came together. So, yeah, that's what I believe. Could we, if anyone doesn't have anything else to say, let's just continue.
To the work. If there were simply no teachers, yes, there would have been a crisis, but it would have been a far different situation, is my argument. So it took all workers fighting together, also characterization of the 1930s and 40s in our country, and 50s. Because of that, they could create a crisis. It was a rank and file, bottom-up movement. There was very important actors who made up a sort of populist movement from below inside the teachers union, and began to demand more radical solutions, i.e., why don't we think about going on strike? The position holders, as I call them, in the unions, which were the elected leaders of the teachers unions and the school student service personnel union, it did something very important, which was they decided not to fight the rank and file upsurge that was happening. They actually supported them. They actually understood that this was going to be good. And that is not always the case in our trade union movement, right? Sometimes when we have an
Eric, could you stop the video? How much, we got about 15 more minutes or so?
No, time's up. That was the
Well, I'm
time
saying
you allocated.
with the rest of the meeting, we have 15 more minutes. Because we do want to get to the autopsy of the TA campaign.
Yeah,
So
I'm not sure. We just had time limits for some of these segments. So
yeah,
one was, we did it.
so you put 37 minutes for that?
That's because we started at like 40 minutes.
Okay, got
So
it.
if you want
Okay.
5 more minutes, or whatever, tell me.
You know what? Let's just stop here
Okay.
and then we'll mark down where we stopped. Looks like
At the
25.
video, you want me to mark?
Yeah.
Okay. Left off 25, 11. Okay.
Okay. And then we'll finish that up in another class. Now let's move on. The autopsy of the TA Vote No campaign. So I wanted to start this off by asking, what are some things that we did right at the Justice Coalition? I believe, I can speak for myself. I know what I tried to do was whenever, that week that they had the executive board member or the steward, basically occupying the break room for the entire week. Whenever I could, I sat in there with them. And I tried to occupy them from talking to anybody. Now, and if anybody had a question, of course, they could answer it, but I tried to occupy them. So they wouldn't have the ability or the opportunity, really the opportunity to push the TA. That's something that I tried to do. And I think maybe that helped in some way. Nicole, I see your hand.
Yeah, what I tried to do was I tried to sit with them as well, and I tried to, encourage people to vote, whether it was a yay or a nay. I think that was somewhat needed from the turnout. We didn't get a lot of people to turn out, so I think that was kind of helpful to say, well, whether you agree or disagree, you should, vote. So that was the one thing I thought was very productive and help. It didn't go a long way, but I didn't reach many people, only people at my garage. I didn't go at other garages or terminals, but I think like in the future, that's another tool that we can use. Just don't try to get them to vote our way, but just try to encourage them to vote. And then when they vote, they might say our way. Maybe they won't, but at least they're voting, and we're getting numbers because we didn't even have 50% turnout. So that's one of the things I thought was.
Okay, thanks, Nicole. Andre?
Yep, the CTA is very, very happy about this, about the contract being voted up in their favor. They thank the union officials for making it happen for them at the board meeting they had Friday. There was discussions. It's just sad on our part, you all. I mean, not on our part is trying to get it what we did, but as far as the membership, we really hurt ourselves by not understanding what you voted yes on. The CTA is very happy. They were going to lose an arbitration. They did not want to go to arbitration.
Yeah.
So that's all I need. That's all I really want to say. But we can push back. It's not over yet. We can push back against what a few people voted yes on. And I think that's what we need to hammer on. We need to keep on educating the members on what's in store for them. CTA really was, we do have a lot of members, and it's the fitness for duty is something the members need to really focus on, because we have a lot of members who operate the bus and don't tell the CTA their illnesses. Now CTA gonna have the ability to be into our illnesses, which is not fair to us. So we just got to step up against this, even though we've been voted it legally, I guess. The whole voting thing was a scam, as far as I'm concerned, because there wasn't no way to keep count of the votes. Votes wasn't numbered. It was a lot of things messed up in this vote.
Yes.
And we can't accept that either. So we just got to forge on, educate, because people say, okay, we got the money, it's done. No, we can't let it be done. And we need to attend the union meeting March 1st.
And the thing is, yes, you're right, Andre. And what I would say is, what CTA does at every negotiation, at the beginning of every negotiations of the contract, they bring in this long list of stuff. and they want to take this back, and they want to take away this, and we want to take that benefit away from you guys. And that seems to be their approach, but that's not our approach. And our approach should be, hey, let's get this back. We seem to act, there seems to be this mentality out there that once we've lost something, then we can never get it back. Well, that's certainly not how CTA feels. So why do we have that mentality? That needs to change, in my opinion. I guess what we had the 40-hour guarantee, we should get that back. We had Blue Cross Blue Shield, we should get that back. So that's what's been on my mind recently. Kathy, I think you had your hand up.
Yeah, I wanted to pick up on what you said and what Andre said. Well, the whole idea of once CTA takes it away, they never give it back or we'll never get it back is true unless we strike, because they are not going to give it back because we're sitting at a negotiating table talking.
Yes.
It's just not going to happen. And
Yes.
and I think the points about we can push back and the need to educate the members is really true. And I don't know how we could do this or if you guys even want to do it, but the whole idea that the CTA is not going to agree to a contract unless it benefits the CTA. So before they show people the TA, 2 or 3 weeks before they're going to force people to vote on it, we need to convince people that vote it down because they're not going to agree to it unless it benefits them. And the union's been working with the CTA for decades. We've lost so much. So that's all.
Okay. Thank you, Kathy.
Sure, you're welcome.
Janice.
Hi, everyone. I'm really upset about this agreement that we've gotten into this new agreement, allowing us to take 40 hours and not making us full time. That's a way to hold it against us, because if you take the 40 hours, you're losing a day off. I'm losing a day off, but I'm getting more money, but I'm not full time. So I don't have all the benefits that a full-time person have, but I'm working, I'm paying the union dues, I'm doing everything that a full-time person is doing. I just think it's disgusting. It's sickening to me. And I don't know about everybody else. And I have a problem with that we have to beg members to understand this. You didn't get anything, nothing. It's a state law that you get sick days. They're just following what it already is. You give me 2 weeks, but I'm unpaid 2 weeks. I take 2 weeks. I can't take a day off unpaid. It's just disgusting. And I fought the membership, I fought CTA, I fought the board. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. That's all I have to say. I don't get it. I don't understand how people can live with themselves and say this is good. This is good. Yeah. You're going to see money, but you might not see it in your pocket. What kind of craziness is that? Don't even say nothing like that. Just shut up. Don't say anything. I'm through.
All right.
Bravo. Go, Janet.
Janice. What I would say, what I was thinking about while you were speaking and trying to absorb that is we're in the boat that we're in. We're in the boat that we're in. And how do we start taking out the water? How do we start filling the holes? And how do we start sailing away? that's where my mind is at. This is why I'm so interested in Jane McAlevey, is because I think I think, the information that she has to offer is gonna try and, help us, take the water out of the boat. Um, a lot of these people here are just hopeless. They don't think that, we're not gonna get anywhere. Um, And I think that part of I certainly can just speak for myself. I'm trying to give these people some hope. And the way that I'm trying to impart that is by asking them, what are you going to do? How are you going to help yourself? So that's what I'm focusing on. I see your hand up, Tom. You could speak, Tom.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say much on here, but you're talking about the boat is filling up with water. This
Yeah.
boat has sunken years ago because it starts at the top from the international on down to these locals. They don't give a shit.
Mhm.
All of our officials are employees of the company who have to go back to their jobs eventually. So they're
Yeah.
not going to change nothing. We need an outside entity to represent us.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yes, Eric.
So on this call, Brother Tom, we got brothers in the Teamsters. And we can say an outside union all we want. They got the same crap. They're all bought out, full, they're sold out. The TDU is like, took 20 years or something for them to get into some kind of international spot. I mean, if we're gonna quit ATU, we should make our own. Because if we bring an outside union, they're all sold out to the Democratic Party or
Yep.
whatever political party's in
Yep.
power. If the members don't control the union, it doesn't
Yep.
matter if it's an outside union. I just have to put that out there. I mean,
Well-
I'm for it. I mean, I'm in the
Well,
maintenance side. They all want to leave.
Let me
I'm gonna
explain.
go with them.
Let me explain my point a little bigger. You say there's Teamsters peoples on here. Now, I know that they have a president and then they have a business agent outside of the president that works for the Teamsters that goes in and negotiates contracts. There is no checks and balances here with the president, business agent having the same title.
Well, if the members don't control, it doesn't matter. If we have a business and a president, they're all corruptible. I mean, and like Kathy keeps saying, if we're not organizing like we're doing now, it's not gonna make it different. What about some of the brothers in the Teamsters that are on the call? Do you
Yeah,
kind of agree
Matt's
with
got his
me?
hand up.
Okay.
What's your question, Eric?
I was just gonna say, do you agree with me that what the problems we're describing are the same problems you guys have in the Teamsters?
Oh, absolutely. Kind of touch on what Tom, I think his name is. We don't have business agents on the BMWD, and we are a division of the Teamsters. You guys sound identical to the problems that we're going through with negotiations. We always hear when we have a TA, this is the best we're going to get. It's impossible for us to strike. And this is, I'm looking at a mirror and listening to you guys. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
just to touch on what Eric's saying.
I don't think that there's going to be any rescue team. I've given that idea up. I think the only rescue team that there's going to be is us. And I don't believe the boat has sunk. Because when you say the boat has sunk, then that means there's no more hope. And I do believe that there is hope because we're here. I'm here, Eric's here, Tom, Nicole, Andre, Kathy, Janice, the guys from the Teamsters, we're all here. So I don't think the
Can
boat
I
is
say
sunk.
something?
Yes.
Every time that we write to our international, we get the letter, take it back to the local. It's like
Yep.
they don't want to hear nothing.
They don't. You're
No,
right.
we need a different international, if you ask me.
Yes. And but I think you're putting the cart before the horse. I think that we need to get our house in order, and our house is 241. Maybe we need to even start before then. We just start with the Justice Coalition, get this house in order. And maybe even before that, it's yourself, or myself. We need to get ourselves in order before we start to worry about the international and what other, unions that we can go with. So it's steps, things got to build on each other. So that's my belief, Tom.
I think we're all talking about the same, there's our time, but we're all talking about the same thing. But the one thing that we differ on is someone else going to help us, or are we going to help us? And the sad, ugly truth is we have to do this. Whether we make our own union or we take over this one, it's up to the members. No one, I swear to you, no one is going to help us but us.
Yeah. What do you have to say, Tom? What do you think?
I kind of disagree because we've been trying to do this. These people are doing wrong, and it's like the international will not come in here and do nothing.
Yes, you're right.
So what
So
are we spending, what are we paying our money to them for? Nothing.
Well, I mean, I think we're paying our money, so we're still technically involved in the union. I know we're not getting anything for our money, not really, but it's so that we could still participate. That's what we're getting.
They don't allow us to participate. The last union meeting was proof of that. They knew what we were coming for, and they put a stop to it.
That's
Okay.
And well, that's right. You're right.
And what kind of repercussions are they going to serve? None, because the international tells you go back to the local.
That's right. They're not going to have any repercussions right now, but what we went over earlier are, tools that we can use to prevent what happened then to happen the next time. Like I said, we can fix a time at which to adjourn. We can appeal the chair's decision. There's things that we didn't know then that now we know. So those are the ways that we can compete with the officers. Kathy, I believe you had your hand up first.
Thanks. So what should we do next then? What should we do? I think we need to put out a pamphlet. I've got all these good ideas, but I think they're good ideas, but I'm not very artistic or neat. But I think we should put out a pamphlet and address the questions. Why did so few people vote? Why do people keep accepting these horrible contracts? And
Those are good questions. Yeah.
What are we going to do next? What can we do?
Yes. Because we have to move from complaining to solutions. That's what everybody's kind of waiting for, I think, is where are the solutions? And is the Justice Coalition going to be the group of people that move us over to solutions?
We got to get big. Hey, wait, and I
Yes.
was going to say this. I think I put it in the chat, but I guess I'll say it. Maybe when we have our next rally, do we want to burn the contract, or maybe do some other kind of guerrilla theater about the contract? I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe. Nicole, you're next.
Oh, I don't know. I disagree with Tom. I think we're winning. We're not okay because we might not get the big steps, but the little steps are more important to me than the big steps. So I felt like even though Keith Hill adjourned our meeting like they did, I felt like we were winning because I sent him a letter and told him about his behavior. And I'm demanding, the Justice Coalition also demanded he cease his actions. Now, he don't email me back. Of course, I have a record of it that I called him on his behavior. And when I
Yeah.
see him, he don't disrespect me. So those are my small wins. Our small wins. I feel like it is frustrating. It's very so frustrating. I do agree. But boy, it feels good. And I feel like this is the
Yeah.
most my union dude has went to use because my voice is so strong. I mean, you can hear it to me now. I'm in the car by myself and I'm yelling and I'm stern about it. I think that my voice is being heard throughout the union, throughout CTA. They all listening. They don't, you know, so I don't know. The baby steps is good for me for now. I mean, I can't wait to get to the big ones, but I'll take the small victories for now. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
I agree with you, Nicole.
Good
Tom, yes. And what you said is right, Andre. You know, we got to police our union. And in order to police our union, we got to be informed. That's why Robert's rules is so important, is we have to be able to use them to our advantage instead of being taken advantage by. Yeah, so we're kind of up on time, but let me get to some of the rest of this stuff. It'll only take a couple minutes. Let's see, a reminder to review and promote the workers' contract, and there's the hyperlink. Also, please attend the local 241 membership meetings on March 1st at 10 a.m. at 1613 South Michigan Avenue. Also, there's the local 308 membership meeting on March 8th at 6:30 p.m. We also have the candidate forum. Entries are needed. What that's about is we're looking for candidates to run in the upcoming 241 elections. So we want to hear what you have to think about issues, and we'll kind of go from there. Also, we have the local 241 and 308 merger poll that's open. There's the hyperlink. And I guess we have the results. Is that true, Eric?
Yeah, it's still ongoing, but
Okay.
here's what it is so far.
Okay. So 45 responses. That's fantastic. Okay, let's see here. The green is we need to leave the ATU. That's 44.4%. 40% is yes. I imagine the 44.4 would say we'd have to do it all together. And then we have 11.1% that says no. And then the orange, which doesn't even have a number, is maybe. Undecided.
4%.
4%. Okay. 2. Okay, but 45 responses. That's terrific. Let's see. Also, we have the 33% sticker campaign. If you want to go, you could purchase those stickers, Eric?
Oops. Yeah. Actually, it's that's actually the old link.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll update it with the new link. But yeah, everyone can now purchase these stickers.
Okay.
And you can wear them, whenever you want.
I wonder, could we also develop a letterhead that we could use? Kind of make us more official.
Yeah, whatever
Okay.
we want, we can do.
Okay. Okay.
We're gonna have to if we go to this next step right here.
Yes. Yeah. The Chicago Transit Justice Coalition not-for-profit organization process report. Could you talk about that, Eric, and what that entails?
Brother Robert, are you on the call? I think you are. I think that's your number. Yeah. Brother Robert is organizing this. He's trying to make the justice. There he is. I think he's unmuting himself. Brother Robert, can you update everybody?
Yeah, so I met with Brother Eric last weekend and talked about making our organization legit with the state, legit with the city. So that way, around election time, when election time comes up, well, starting from now until election time, we can accept donations. We can accept donations from people, and then we can run ads on social media. We can run ads in the newspaper. We can run billboard ads. Because I think, we can set all that up. People, we can set a Cash App up. We can set a Zelle up. Everybody might not donate, give us cash or whatever, but everybody, has, most of the people I know have those Zelle apps, Cash App, Venmo, all of those apps. So we can get donations in, that would be great. But I think
Yes.
that we have to legitimize and legalize our organization before we can do that. And then it'll help us in other ways as well, besides donations.
Okay. Yeah, that's
all I got to
terrific,
say.
Robert. That's great. I'm glad that you're making that happen for us. Nicole, I see you have your hand up. Nicole?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have none. Is my hand still up? I got to take that down. Sorry,
Yep.
I didn't have anything.
All right. Out of order, Nicole.
Okay,
Once
I
again, out of
apologize.
order.
I'm sorry. I've been hanging around Eric and Andre. I always get in trouble when I'm with them. I'm sorry.
Hey, Andre, call the manager.
So next we have the bowling party progress report. We still have to determine a date for the next bowling party. Yeah, so we have to figure that out, but it's going to happen. And then, maybe it doesn't have to be, it'll probably be a bowling party the next time, but maybe it could be something else too. It doesn't, we like we were saying earlier, we just need to get outings, we need to try and draw people out of their shell and get them back into society, or get them involved, participating. So number 12, what kind of articles would you like to see in the next CTJC newsletter? Why not write a short article yourself? A few sentences or a paragraph about what is important to you is all we need. Just type it up and send it to us at that number, or you could send it to that email address. I think this is a fantastic idea. Let's see, number 13, the RHCT lawsuit progress report from Steve. I don't know if Steve is on. I don't think he is. You could call Attorney Ken at this phone number here if you're interested in helping. And finally, we have final discussion. Is there any thoughts that anybody wants to share about anything pertaining to CTA and the Justice Coalition Union? Nicole?
Oh yeah, my final thoughts is always thanking each and every one of y'all for having these meetings and getting us together. It's kind of my therapy. I know that sounds really strange, but it's my therapy. I hate that it's like bi-weekly, but it's well needed. And I want to congratulate you, Paul, on an awesome class. You did amazing, and I'm sure you're gonna continue your Robert through for next week because you didn't finish.
I gotta continue that video too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and the video, and then I know I got a lot, but I want to thank our guests for coming, and they had great ideas and great conversations. So I just want to do all that and just thank everybody for their time.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom and Michael and Matt. We really appreciate you showing up here. Tom is next. Thomas.
Yeah, I have a question about the nonprofit organization. If we go that way, aren't we supposed to have some kind of official structure as far as a treasurer and a president, vice president of the organization? Is that how that works?
Robert?
Yes, that's correct. So in order to file the paperwork with the state, we got to have at least 3 board members that's willing to put their name and their address. And we have to have 1 registered agent.
Okay.
So those three board members can be president, treasurer, secretary, whatever. So to file the paperwork, it's $50. So we're thinking about making the membership fee for all members $15 per year, which is really reasonable. And for part-timers that's unable to pay that $15 per year, we'll have some type of grant or something to help them pay that $15 membership fee per year.
Mhm.
And Eric could probably go into more details if you have any more questions on that.
Yeah, Tom. So, and we can have 3 to 7 directors, and those directors can serve in different capacities. So, the registered agent is the only thing that's kind of like, we need somebody to be like a signatory. But this is definitely something that will help us because CORE, the Coalition of Rank and File Educators that reformed the CTU, they took over the CTU. They were a not-for-profit organization. Teamsters for Democratic Union are not-for-profit. So all of these things are allowable in labor law, and we're definitely have to do it. But I'm so glad that Robert is leading this effort. So we really appreciate that. Thanks.
Well,
Yes, thanks, Robert.
my question is, how are we going to do this?
We're still working on that. So we're gonna have to have people. We're gonna have to do a Justice Coalition poll. We're gonna have to nominate people for directors and have an election.
Okay,
Yay, democracy.
that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, it's definitely not gonna be anybody's appointed, or it's like, yeah, my buddy Andre, he's gonna, and then my buddy Kathy, and yeah.
And my buddy.
Eric, you're out of order.
here.
You're out of order. You're out of order, Eric.
Oh, you mean we're not
Right.
doing the buddy system, Eric?
Yeah.
No buddy system?
Yeah,
What a
we're
shame.
living a lavish lifestyle.
Yeah. Kathy, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of underline Nicole's optimism, which I think is good and positive outlook. Even though the contract was horrible, still we're here and we are getting a little bit bigger and we're not going to give up and we're going to keep on trying. And eventually we are going to win. And I read a little saying that somebody posted on Facebook, something about a tree growing. And so we're setting down roots and we're going to grow. But the last thing that grows on the tree is the fruit. So,
That's right.
We just got to keep on keeping on.
That's exactly right.
Awesome.
There's a couple things I've heard recently. And I think that this is part of what we're doing is we're trying to give hope to the hopeless. And we're trying to take away the fear and make people fearless. And I think that's really what we are trying to succeed at here. At least I know that's what I'm trying to do.
Oh yeah.
So, but does anybody have anything else to say?
Oh, I have something if you don't mind, Cole, and then we
Okay,
can wrap
yeah.
it up. I know we over. Well, I had something. So it was a post that you made, and I can't remember what it was, but I think a young man said that I believe the Justice Coalition is doing more harm than good.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, yeah, well, maybe so. But at least we're trying. You're not doing nothing but posting on social media. So you keep doing that. We're going to keep doing what we're doing, and we'll see who prevails. So that is my motto. Y'all know I'm optimistic about this.
Yes.
We're gonna succeed
Yes,
in the
we
big
will.
ways. I know it. I know it, guys. That's
I
all
agree.
I have.
Oh, we did it, right? Because look at Keith Hill, Dixon, Lane, Bowers. They were freaking out with our Vote No campaign. I mean, they were
Yes.
freaking. They even had this fake election, fake vote.
Oh yeah.
Right?
You know, Keith Hill was at my garage and trying to put. I was like, sugar, make sure you vote, no matter if it's a yay or nay. I was irritating his soul, and it was so funny. And then I was like, well, ask your president, what about fitness for duty? He can tell you. His answer was, you had fitness for duty when you started. I said, did you have fitness for duty when you started? Because I didn't. I said, but that's y'all president explaining it, but Darvell Carter explains it best. But, we winning.
Tom, you got something to say?
Yeah, are we gonna ever have an in-person meeting again, or is it gonna be
I
all?
hope so. I hope there's alcohol involved too.
It's up to you,
Me too,
Tom.
Tom.
Organize it.
Yeah, Tom, that sounds
Yeah,
like a good
Tom.
idea. Yeah, he goes quiet when you put something on him, guys.
we gonna help Tom.
Yeah, we gonna help Tom out.
Wildcat
God-
Tom.
Andre, you got something?
Yeah, I would like to say we made a big impact, I believe. I mean, it's 9,000 members, over
Yes.
3,000 members voted. Only a little over 2,000 members voted yes. A little over 2,000 members voted no. Yeah, we was killing them. You know, we kept them on their heels. We kept them afraid. We kept them counseling the meetings. So they afraid of people standing up, and we need to just continue to stand up and let the
Yeah.
members know this is our
Yeah.
union, and they know this is our union. We got 2 of these karate union officials gone. They retired, and that's good. And we don't want them back, and we need to just get rid of
That's
the
right.
rest and keep moving forward, and keep these people engaged. Let them know we just not gonna let them run us over. It's our union.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
And we also need
And
to
we're about
keep
to,
in mind-
we're about to start pointing out all the things that we can think of on this TA that's bad for this membership. And we're gonna continue to do this in person, at the union meetings, at the garages. We're gonna just keep coming together and keep growing.
Yeah, that's right. And I think we also need to keep in mind the people that they're getting ready to take over for them, because those people are coming. There is no doubt that they're already trying to train folks and what
And
they're
we're
doing.
gonna point them out. And we're gonna point them
Right.
out, because anybody that's being endorsed by Keith or Eric Dixon or whoever is in the union currently, we don't want them. We're gonna let the membership know to
Oh.
stay away from these people.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna point out because they're not educated. They don't know anything. They just
No,
know
they
what they've
don't.
been told. So we're gonna keep everybody informed. Do you want somebody who's educated on the union, or do you want somebody like the ones we had that don't know nothing? Because you know the president, he didn't even know he had to get the international president to extend the contract. Shows how much he knows. So you know what he's gonna tell the rest of the people.
And the thing is too, I mean, they are sending them to these schools though, you know, they're sending them to UIC or DePaul.
We
So
can
they
go there
appear-
ourselves.
They
Yeah, but they're
appear
not
like they
sending-
know something.
But they're not sending
they
them to
really
the
don't.
membership.
Can
They're
I
not
say
sending them to the
something about
membership,
that
though.
school?
Yes,
Don Pope went there. End of story.
That's
Oh
right.
yes, thank
Right.
you,
That's
thank
right.
you.
That's
All he
exactly-
do is say what Keith said. And
Yes.
Eric, what about that CDL class he canceled? Huh? It's not smart enough to handle it.
Yes.
I can't handle it.
So,
Absolutely, guys.
but,
We're winning.
yes, we are. And, you know, with regards to Dave Hernandez, I want to hear what he has to say.
You didn't have
Honestly,
anything to say.
but I want to hear it. I want to hear it, Nicole.
Cole, we
Because-
haven't heard it yet because
I know
told
we haven't
him.
heard it yet, and I'm gonna prod him about it because I want to. I mean, I think the feedback, you know, it may be negative, but it's good to hear feedback.
It is.
Can
I
I-
mean, it is. But I'm saying after I told him, bring it on. He
Yeah.
didn't say anything else.
Yeah.
I believe he ran for vice president a time or two before this.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Well,
see,
you know,
maybe he
anybody-
feels like since he's not involved that we're hurting his shot to run again or something. Who knows?
Probably so.
Maybe. But he ought to join up, be a part of
Right.
the solution.
Right, and that's the problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Also,
once again, Cole,
What's
this
the
is a
next
great
meeting and host? What's the next meeting and host?
well,
Cole
first,
is hosting again.
okay.
Yeah,
I'll
Cole.
host again. Yes, I'll host again. So I guess let me pull up the calendar and see what's 2 weeks. We still agree we should be doing this 2 weeks, bi-weekly.
But I wish it was weekly, but I'll take 2 weeks.
Okay. Calendar.
I think I missed my ex.
All right, so we're at the 20th, so it'd be the 6th, would be that Sunday. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine on the 6th. So we still
March
want
6th?
to, yeah, March 6th, 1:30. We want to keep it at 1:30 as well.
Yep,
I'm fine with 1:30.
yep. Listen to me answering all the questions. Anybody else on this call?
Yeah, you're out of order. You
I
know what?
Guys, out of
You know what,
order.
Nicole? You know what, Nicole? You
I'm-
remind me of Ken Franklin at the local
Jesus.
308 meetings when Eric Dixon was
Jesus.
president, and he's
Not
always
Ken.
yeah.
Only thing you have to do is mute
No.
her.
You just keep interrupting the
Oh,
chairman
not
with
Ken, though.
everything.
Not Ken.
Yeah.
Not Ken, though, Eric. Not Ken. Please, pick somebody else.
Well, at least he decided to have a vote to strike. What was it? A vote to have a vote? Is that what it was?
It's so
Yeah, and it wasn't even his idea. It was
Of course.
me and Kevin Wilson.
Oh,
Not
okay.
Ken's idea. And he drug his ass on
Yeah.
organizing for it. We gave him 6 months and they
Yeah.
didn't do anything until like a month before.
Mhm. Well, I'll tell you what, because I know you're really adamant about striking, Kathy, and I agree with you. I just hope, that ought to be the ultimate weapon. And I just hope that we can get ourselves so organized and that we can show them how organized that we are, that we can just use that as a way to threaten them and not
Right.
actually, but if we have to do it, then we have to do it.
Yeah.
But that's where we're gonna have to see about, what are going to be the legal ramifications for doing that at some point. But that's so far down the line, and it may not even happen. So, but we just need to become more organized, structured, get our power back. That's what has to happen here. We don't have our
Absolutely.
power. So it's time for us to get it back.
Absolutely.
So, all right, I think that's a wrap. I see
Okay,
Tom
thanks,
has a
guys.
hand.
Have a good. Oh, somebody got their hand up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I
See, they're seeing
I
it.
just think it hasn't been put down.
Okay.
But yeah, all right. So yeah, that's a wrap. Thank you all for showing up, especially to our guests. Tom, Michael, Matt, we all really do appreciate you showing up. I hope you had an opportunity to learn something that you didn't know before. And we look forward to seeing you again, hopefully. So you all have a good Sunday afternoon.
Okay,
Thank you.
guys.
Good
Have a good
meeting.
week. Great
All right.
meeting.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Great
Thank you.
job.
Bye.
Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Y'all
Thank
take
you,
care.
brother Teamsters, for joining us.
No problem. Anytime.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.